Okay, so I'm Alex Grabowski. I'm a sophomore and I'm an education major.
I'm Miranda Manwar. I'm a sophomore and I'm a TV and business major.
My name is David Olson. I'm a junior and I'm a TV and business major.
I'm Zach Edwards. I'm a sophomore and I'm a major in math and actuary science.
Hey, my name is Shane Wynn. I'm a sophomore and my major is IT.
Probably Instagram. And do I write often on it? No, but I look at it a lot.
I use Instagram the most. I obviously don't really write much on it. I do post a few pictures, but I don't use it as often now.
The social media site that I use the most is Facebook, and it's mostly just for communication with other people, like not putting up statuses or sharing much, but mostly just because that's where most of my friends will communicate with one another. So that's what I use the most, and I'd say I do a lot of communication on it just because I'm constantly texting people through that platform.
I'm on Twitter a lot. I visit a lot of social media sites, but I think Twitter is the site I'm on the most because my friends post on it the most. I post on it. I have phases where I'll post on it a lot and phases where I won't post on it for a while, but generally 3 to 4 times a week, which isn't a lot for Twitter.
I have to go with Reddit. I don't write often on it, but I'm certainly working out there at all times, reading.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not really. With Instagram, I really just post pictures, but I don't really do much writing after that, so I can't really compare it to my daily life. But I typically, if I write anything, it's the same way I speak.
I actually talk basically identically to how I talk in real life as I do on social media sites. I type with good grammar all the time, and will sometimes just inject any of the casual or formal words I would use in real life while talking to people online. So basically, no, I speak in the exact same way.
I make a concerted effort to try to sound educated on social media, so I probably have more articulate language when I'm speaking on social media than I would be in person. But I observe other people using very lazy language on social media, so.
I don't often write on social media, but when I do, I use proper grammar.
I definitely have a different vernacular when it comes to texting, and I think it's just because it's a cultural thing. I don't know. I feel like if you text as if you're emailing someone, it's just too proper. It's considered weird.
When it comes to texting, I still write the same as I speak, really because if I'm going to write anything, it's going to be appropriate, and I'm going to write it eloquently rather than using JK or LOL or things that I can't really use.
Texting, same thing. Sometimes I might be a little bit lazier over texting just because if it's something I need to send out quickly, I might just type in an abbreviated form. But for the most part, it's still the same communication as the way I'd be talking right now.
Depends on the situation. If I'm speaking with my girlfriend or someone that I have an intellectual relationship with, somebody that I'm in a study group with, I'll generally try to speak in an educated manner. But if I'm talking to one of my friends, I'll use a lot of slang just because it's easier. It's faster.
When it comes to texting, I like to stick to the ideal of using proper grammar, spelling, punctuation. Doesn't always happen though. Why doesn't it always happen? Well, I'll tell you, sometimes when you're pressed for time, and especially in an interconnected world where there's more and more time-sensitive things going on, sometimes you just gotta take a shortcut.
Well, there's phrases like LOL, OMG, and then there's words like brick and on fleek that definitely worked their way into my vocabulary. I don't think I use them in person as much as I do on texting, but I don't know. They definitely affect the way we talk to each other and how comfortable it is in between people.
Okay, what new words? Probably bae. I've heard a lot. I don't use that though. And I really don't know that many words. I know LOL, JK, the G2G, I think it's gotta go. but I don't. Really usually write them full.
I mean, there's like a lot of words that have just like come from the internet. Like we have like twerking and stuff like that now, which are like largely like internet based, or even like a lot of slang that we use in general these days gets distributed like through social media and through like Twitter and stuff like that. And so like I definitely use a lot of them while talking, just because they become kind of part of our vocabulary just in modern day. And I'll use them sometimes if it's like ironically, but. Yeah. No, I will actually use some internet words if they like are just like common slang that people say all the time. So.
I feel like a lot of acronyms have entered the vernacular. Like I'll say LOL sometimes, which is laugh out loud, or like other thing. I'm trying to think of like another good example. I think that social media just makes slang a lot more readily available from what would have only been available in certain parts of the countries or certain neighborhoods because it's put on the internet. A lot more people tend to use it.
I think more and more is going to become abbreviated, but I also feel like it has to do with the fact that like we have more to say. So like if we abbreviate more, we can say more. I don't know, that's how I look at it. I don't think we're doomed.
I wouldn't say getting lazier, but I do think that in our English language we're starting to use more of the words that come through texting and Facebook rather than using more, I wouldn't say intelligent, but just more sophisticated words in the English language, and we've gotten a little bit lazier with really phrasing it even on the social media sites. I don't know about doomed. I still think that there are certainly people who will continue to use English language and the words that should be used, but there's always going to be new ones and different words, so I don't really know what comes for the future.
Yeah, I definitely don't think we're becoming lazier as a society. I think that, if anything, social media and just our general use on the internet will actually expand our vocabulary more and more as time passes. Maybe like not in the most usual ways, like, but it will give us kind of these like specific terms and specific slang for just like concepts that we weren't doing before. Like twerking was never a thing, but now that's a thing. So we have to all deal with that together.
Well, the English language has been deteriorating for quite some time. But, I mean, if you look at each, I don't know what the appropriate word would even be, each era of English, they each have their own charms. I think we're definitely entering into a simplistic era of English, which is unfortunate because we have a lot of intelligent people in the society, but the people who voice themselves the most on social media tend to be the idiotic ones. And I do definitely think we're becoming lazier as a society. I'm definitely a good example of that. I'm an extraordinarily lazy person.
I feel that it's not really technology that's making us lazier when it comes to language. I think we've always really been looking for ways to, I don't know, cut short and make brief, with everybody. But I think really the technology is giving us the access to do what we as humans just need to. I think that a lot of people like to talk about the trend of the decline of the English language in our society, but at the same time, technology doesn't have to be something that removes us from each other. I think it can and is meant to be something that brings us together. I don't think this has to spell doom and gloom for the English language. There's so much out there for us all to find and to express to each other. I think that we could either really let this new technology make or break us. There's so much to be gained from it if we take advantage of it instead of letting it take advantage of us.